webinar where we are going to discuss tonight how you can fill your studio with better quality leads all year round at a higher average sales value. So I'm delighted tonight to be joined by two experts in this area. So we have Bradley Bulmer, who is a photographer who has been using marketing funnels to fill his studio with bookings. And we'll talk to Bradley in a moment. And then we have Jonathan Ryle, who is a media buyer, uses Facebook every single day to sell other people's products, and currently spends over $1,000 a day generating leads on a no-full, no-fee basis. So if the ad doesn't sell, Jonathan doesn't get paid. So let's start. Bradley, can you tell the audience a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, sure thing. So I run a photography studio with my parents. So we're third generation business now. So I've been going 42 years. I've been in that business for around 6 years now. So when we first started that, when I first was in that business, the vast majority of our work were coming through from Groupon. After the financial crash, 2008, that's what became the bedrock of our business and how we built it back up. But it was roughly about a year after that our Groupon leads just fell off a cliff. That it disappeared, and I had to very quickly find a way to get our bookings back into the diary. We were already using Facebook a bit at the time, very minorly, and I had to fill 80 odd sessions a month in really quick, and Facebook was the way I did it. It was using paid Facebook adverts and self-taught along the way, having spent close to £100,000 on Facebook ads just for photography at the moment.
So you're not setting any aspiration here, right? You do it and do it every single day and fill your diary with bookings using online marketing funnels of various different types.
Yeah, exactly.
Very good. Jonathan, how are you?
Yeah, how's it going? Hope everyone is doing good.
So Jonathan, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, so I actually have a similar enough background and journey to Brad. So again, I'm third generation in the family business. I started about 6 or 7 years ago there. I studied accounting in college and absolutely despised it. And then when I joined the family business, I did everything from starting off with sweeping the floor to running operations to managing supply chains to doing customer service. Some of you might recognize me. I worked with 3XM for a while in customer service. And then eventually I discovered that my biggest passion was advertising and marketing. So I think in the last 2 years, I've spent close to $40,000 learning from the best of the best. I have a pretty extensive network now, and I run my own company as well that I'm spending $1,000 plus a day on Facebook at the minute, as you said. And then I've also co-founded Business Success Academy with yourself. We launched that in December. So that's my background.
Okay, so we have two marketeers here who are doing it online. So Bradley, just to ask about online marketing funnels then.
Yep.
So you have a busy studio. How many people working in the studio?
We've got 5 full-time staff, me included, 5 full-time staff.
5 full-time staff. So that's a lot of mouths to feed, right?
Yeah.
And so in your studio, how many sessions when we're open, because we're all closed right now, but when you're open, how many sessions a week would you roughly do?
At the moment, we're trying to book in around 20 to 25. Last year, we were higher than that. Last year, we were around 36, but we're redesigning our entire business, so we're trying to lower it down a bit.
Okay.
But yeah, 25 at the moment.
So how many of those 25 then come from your online marketing activity as distinct from word of mouth and other stuff you might do?
Around 85%. So yeah, the vast majority come through from our own paid advertising funnels. So it's hard to equate referral. We get a lot of referral business as well, but ultimately our referrals come from because they've been in through a Facebook funnel. They've come in from a funnel and then they've referred a friend on, or they've come back to the studio. So it's all kind of within those funnels.
Okay, and before that, then you mentioned a little earlier that you used to use Groupon and Wowza, things like that to generate your leads, and then that disappeared when we're here and then gone, right?
Yeah.
But can we talk a little bit then about other lead sources that you may have used? So did you ever buy leads from, the way some companies who we won't mention, sell leads to photographers?
Yeah, we still purchase leads now. So it's that we purchase leads now, we purchase data now. It's great to get sessions in your diary that way, but ultimately that you're not in control of your own marketing. And I found that out the hard way when 85% of our sessions were coming in from Groupon. That was managed by a Groupon rep that I had never met personally before. It was a hard learning curve to find out that if you don't have control of your marketing, you don't have control of your business. So that was a learning curve for me. And then we swapped from being 85% dependent on the sources to now where 85% of our work comes through our own self-generation.
So you've moved your business from being reliant on other people who you'd no control over to have an absolute control of the sales that come through your photography business.
Yeah.
Okay. And I know you're a numbers guy, right?
Yeah.
So, and you measure everything. So can you share with us any difference between the leads you generate yourself for your business and their spend and the leads that you buy from other sources?
Yeah, so our own self-generated leads, average spend on that's up 50% than anything else that gets brought in from anything else. So our average order is, because we've got more control. We have complete control over that funnel system. So even though we run really effective offers, maybe even the same offers that we're running on Groupon or from other sources, we have the control of the funnel, the follow-up on that. We're contacting the customer, we're quoting them on the phone. If they're not our fit, we've got blocks up in the way that we can put up to filter them out, in a sense. Whereas when you get in sessions in from other data sources or Groupon, you've got no control.
Okay. So I think what you're saying to me is, because you're doing your own marketing, you can find your ideal client in a much easier way than leads that you buy elsewhere. And therefore, because they're more your ideal clients, they're naturally spending more money with you.
Yeah, 100%. And it's cheaper. But back when I was paying for data, I can get the same data now cheaper. I have contact numbers and email addresses. Whereas before I was, you'd be buying baby data and that would just have a name and a home address. Now I've got name, home address, contact number, email, and it's cheaper per lead. So.
Okay. And then, of course, you're building your own database of contacts that you can recontact time and time again. And for those who already use Facebook and online marketing, you can do things like lookalike audience to say, there's my clients, go find other people like them. And Facebook are really good at that. Yeah,
no, Facebook's fantastic for being able to create lookalike audiences. They're our best performing audiences. And, we've got a full topic all on audiences.
Very good. Very good. Jonathan, how are you?
Still good.
So Jonathan, people say to me, right, that funnels, right, it sounds scientific, it sounds geeky, it sounds complicated. What do you think are the critical elements of a successful funnel? What is a funnel? And what are the elements of it?
Yeah, so for me, I've always kind of defined a funnel as, the online version of your sales process, your in-person sales process. So if you think about, how you interact in person with a client, so the first step might be that they, call you or you meet them somewhere at a trade show or whatever the first touch point might be. And you continue to build that relationship, whether it's with, pre-shoot consultations or then, that type of thing in advance. So a funnel for me is basically a marketing funnel, online one, is the online representation of that. So you're just using different sources to actually acquire your customers. So you're using traffic platforms such as Facebook to advertise to, people who don't know you. You're bringing them into your world, and then you're transitioning them through your sales process, except a lot of that is digital. And then there's also kind of interactions in terms of you can have phone calls, and there's different types of funnels as well. to kind of qualify, build relationships, and then get them into your world as customers.
So Jonathan, a lot of photographers have shared, what they do outside of Bradley, but other photographers, what they try and use on Facebook, and quite often they say, Facebook just doesn't work. Facebook, I'm putting up my posts. Years ago, I used to get this organic search was great, and then Facebook started to monetize their platform. So they asked you to pay, and the first step on that was, boost a post. And, we used to teach many, many years ago, the 1-3-1 method, which was, 3 soft posts, 1 soft sell, 1 hard sell, and that used to work great. But Facebook has grown up and it's moved on and things like that as well, and that's why we now need marketing funnels. But why, Jonathan? What's the biggest mistake you see photographers doing with their Facebook advertising who aren't using marketing funnels?
Yeah, so I've worked with a good few photographers now and had a look at their campaigns and what they were doing. And one of the biggest issues is, first of all, they don't know that a thing such as a business manager exists. So they're just kind of doing what Facebook tells them to do, which is to, as you said, boost a post. And there's different kind of marketing objectives within Facebook. So, if your goal is to generate leads, you have conversion campaigns where you can optimize for leads. And, you're supposed to have your pixel set up and on the right pages so that you're feeding the data back to Facebook. Whereas if you just boost a post, right, it's the equivalent of, doing a page post engagement, which means that by boosting a post, Facebook's going to go look for people who are most likely to engage with that post, but they mightn't necessarily be buyers. So Facebook has like different tiers of traffic. They have like different buckets. So like tier 4 will be the traffic that they have on the system that never buy. And tier 1 is like their red hot traffic who, have been shown to purchase through Facebook ads over and over again. So that's one of the biggest issues that, and there's kind of other things on top of that in terms of your strategy with your campaign structures and stuff. So, just boosting a post on Facebook is unlikely to get you results. And that's one of the biggest mistakes I see being made.
Okay, and just wearing my StoryBrand hat, one of the things I see quite often is the mistake of, get 20% off today, buy now. And people are boosting those posts and are putting them in front of people who don't yet know, like, and trust them. So as we say, it's like what I think you do this in the course, Jonathan. It's like walking up to a woman who you fancy that you see across the street and going up, "Hi, you look gorgeous. Want to marry me?" And they don't even know me, right? What's likely to happen? There's going to be a handbag or a fist across the head, and I'm going to go down like a ton of bricks. So it's, you've got to nurture your leads, right? You've got to, any leads you generate, you've got to nurture them so that they get to know, like, and trust you more. And that's a big job of a marketing funnel, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's, again, that whole nurturing aspect. It's, basically your online sales process where you're building that know, like, and trust. Like if you're in big corporations doing B2B, you don't just walk up to Apple and say, "Yeah, we'll do your technology for you. 100 grand, thanks." You have to develop relationships with key staff, that type of thing. So it's basically the online kind of version of that.
Okay, about building the relationship so that they know, like, and trust you before you ask for the sale. Yeah. Because there's another common piece there. Like, I'm selling for 30 something years now, right? I started life as, I entered a family business after again studying accountancy and realized I didn't want to be an accountant, that I wanted to be a marketeer. So Jonathan made the same mistake I did. Then went on to do marketing at night. And I was in the bit, my father started me sweeping the floor, and within 3 months, our salesperson left. So he sent me on a 2-day sales course, bought me a Nissan Micra van, and said, "Off with you." So that was my start in sales. And very quickly I realized, that I need to do more learning on sales and what it's about, and one of the things we were taught was when I did more learning in sales was, and the principle hasn't changed, it's just moved from that direct contact to online. But the principle always was that a good salesperson never gives up on a client, but you've got to realize and adopt the mindset that no matter what client you target and you start to interact with, that 50% of all clients you interact with to try and get them to buy from you will never buy. And 50% will buy from you at some stage. But of that 50% who buy at some stage, only 15% of them are ready to buy now. And the really good salespeople keep in contact with their leads so that when that client is ready to buy, they remember you and you're front of mind. And that the other 85% of the 50% who will buy sometime between day one, when you first make contact, and 2 years. And the top online marketeers like you guys are telling me, and other stuff that I've read and learned, is that exactly the same principles are happening online. It's just the tool has changed. So you've got to have systems in place to not only nurture and convert those 15% to 50% ready to buy now, but to nurture those other 85%. So when they are ready to buy from you, that you're who they buy from, right?
Yeah.
Okay, Bradley, let's go back to you. So Bradley, there's a whole load of different types of funnels, right?
Yeah.
Can you just describe one of the funnels, maybe one of the easier ones that you can get up and running? Because there's sort of funnels you can get going really, really quickly, and then there's funnels that take a little bit more time to get set up, but they're more about nurturing the leads more in time.
Yeah.
But can you just give us an example of a funnel that's worked really well to help you fill your studio?
Yeah, sure, exactly. So I run a lot of direct to offer funnels. So all that is just a simple 2-page funnel where when they click through from the advert, they go straight onto an offer page, and then the page after that's an action page. So I go straight into an offer. I do this a lot of the times with lookalike audiences, so people already know who we are. So I've already built that brand awareness up because I do a lot of the Gary Vee sort of jab, hook style marketing where I've got a lot of branding adverts out, and then this is a hard sale designed to get people into my studio. So the last one I ran before coronavirus was a boudoir giveaway, raffle competition type of thing. I spent I've got the stats here, £94.56. My cost per lead was £1.97. I got 48 leads, and within like a 2-week period, I'd booked 26 of those in. So it was a £3.64. Now that's fantastic. My average is around £18 from total ad spend. So I run adverts for branding, adverts specifically designed to get customers into my diary.
Okay, so that's a really good point, right? Because Jonathan talks about this too, that there's 2 main functions to Facebook that you might use, or any social media channel, in fact. One is about brand building, right?
Yeah.
And then one is about generating leads. And we were going to talk more about generating leads tonight and stuff like that. But what the figures you've just shared with us, just that I can recap on those.
Yeah, sure.
You said that your total cost per booking, not per lead now, but per booking in the business from your online marketing is how much? 20?
Overall, it hovers around £18.
£18. So if I convert £18, that's roughly €20, and it's about $22.
Yeah.
So per booking now, not per lead. Yeah. These are people who are booking sessions with you.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and does that cost include your branding activity?
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
It's the total spend.
Yeah, it's total spend. Yeah.
Okay. And roughly, how would you break down your spend between, as a rough percentage, between branding and lead generation?
50-50. So half of all adverts I run are designed purely for lead generation and creating sessions and bookings. Then half of everything else is for brand awareness. It's to warm an audience up, or to create a lookalike audience. To handle customer objections, just to warm them all up before I hit them with an irresistible offer type of thing.
Would you be able to share a brand building campaign that you may have done? And what? Yeah.
So I've got quite a few. So one of the easiest ones I run is just testimonials. So customer video testimonials, or even image testimonials, where I get customers to share their story. So I run those really effectively. I run a lot of those as post engagements rather than actual conversions, because I want to gain social proof on those adverts. Then I sit those adverts on my front page on Facebook, so that when I build traffic there, I've got posts of all these stories with great social proof. I use a lot of videos as well. So I bulk about 8 videos together that are all handle objections, have testimonials in them, have walkthroughs of the studio, and I advertise that out to a certain audience so that every day they're going to see a new video. And then at the end of like a week period, have I froze?
No, we have you. Your picture's frozen, but we can hear you. Keep talking. Can you hear us, Bradley?
Oh yeah, I'm back. All right.
Yeah. We could hear you. We just couldn't see you.
Realize.
So where you were, Bradley, was you were saying that you do videos, you stitch them together, you put them out there, and that's about brand building. So the call to action there, is it to like the video or to engage with the video?
My call to action ultimately is for them to click through and have a look at my landing pages. So my landing pages, I've got far more information on there, but ultimately it's just to engage with the video. So primary, it's engage with video, actually view our content, and then secondary is to take it one step further, and they might actually fill out some of my funnel details, and then we can contact them.
And then you can retarget people who've watched a certain amount of that video. Is that your approach, or?
Yep.
Okay.
So you can create video view audiences. So normally it's around 25-50% of people who've viewed that video I'll retarget for. Because
they've got a real interest, because they've watched so much of the video, while those who've only watched a couple of seconds or whatever, they weren't really interested. So don't spend any money retargeting them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Excellent. Very good. I love it. Jonathan, so the more complex funnels then that a photographer might run. So I know you've worked with a number of photographers to help with this area. So I'm talking about funnels where, we might have a lead magnet of some kind. Can you just talk to us about a funnel like that and the steps and how to approach something like that?
Yeah, so kind of one of my principles that I always follow is to always give before you ask. So what I mean by that is, give your ideal client massive value up front, because that's going to come back to you in the long run. And it will also help you to actually, the person's only going to click on the ads and opt in for your lead magnet if they're really interested in that topic. So it's a great way of kind of qualifying people. So in terms of like a lead gen funnel, one of the things we do is, we offer up a lead magnet. So we put up an ad saying, we've put together this guide on how to do X, Y, and Z. If you're interested, click here. They come to the landing page. It gives them more info about it. They can pop in their name and email address, or you can collect whatever data you want there. That then goes into your CRM. So you're building like an email list. You're building a database of contacts. And then once you've given them some value, there's kind of this idea of fast movers, kind of middle of the range movers, and then the tortoises, right? So your fast movers are people who, are ready to buy now. So I know I'm one of them, right? So if I see something that I like, I don't spend lots of time thinking about it. I just kind of buy if I have enough money to buy whatever that is. So what you want to do once you capture the lead is you can then present them with an irresistible offer, which Brad touched on a little bit earlier. So, and then within that, you have like, a deadline and a 3-day retargeting sequence to try and kind of become as profitable as possible on the front end, as we call it. So that's, the beginning, the top of funnel. So that's a kind of more advanced setup, and, it's more difficult to kind of get your lead magnet and your kind of offers right to make sure that, the lead backs out, as they say. And then the idea behind it is you have your database, so you're constantly remarketing to them, you're building custom audiences, you're doing retargeting ads, you're running kind of like, you could run like training sessions or kind of info videos for them, you're emailing them, and you're looking to kind of convert them from 90 days onwards.
Okay, so you've hit a whole load of things there, Jonathan. So can I
Yeah,
just deep
sorry.
dive into that and break it out? Because there was a little bit of, what's a lead magnet? Before I knew what a lead magnet was, I said I'd seen thousands of them, but I didn't know they were called a lead magnet, right?
Right.
So let's just first of all talk about Facebook as the platform. So people are using Facebook to see what friends and family are doing, or to catch up on neighbors, or even spy on some people if we want to do that. Yeah, be creepy about it. But that's what it's about, right? So I'm in my feed and I'm catching up and I'm scrolling my feed, and I'm likely to see something that stops my attention. Yeah. And typically it's something that says, let's pretend I'm a bride. I know that's a stretch, right? But let's pretend I'm a bride to be. I've got engaged, yeah? And I happen then to be scrolling my feed and I see something that says, this download are 7 perfect poses to look great in your wedding photography.
Well, let me take you a step back there first. So,
Okay.
yeah, you're right. So we're scrolling through our newsfeed, right? And the key thing to what a lot of people call, and what I call, stopping the scroll is, your image or your video ad, right? So there's certain characteristics for, your ads that you need to have in order to be able to stop that scroll and get people's attention. Then, as you say, they might, once you've got their attention, they'll see their headline, which might be free download, 7 perfect poses or whatever your kind of guide is. And then you have your ad copy, which kind of gives more detail about it, explains, kind of tries to build a relationship with the person. And the goal then is to get them to click over to your landing page. Okay.
And the reason why we want to get them to the landing page is to capture some detail in return for the lead magnet, right?
Exactly, yeah. So they come over to the landing page and there's more info about the lead magnet. There's some kind of authority building there with your profile, what you've done. And in exchange, if they really want this lead magnet, which ideally should be actually giving them value and giving them actionable insight, they're going to be more than happy to click download now and pop in their name and email in exchange for that.
Okay, and so this is still top of funnel stuff. We haven't even started selling to them yet. We're giving them some value up front in return for their email address, and maybe if it was a wedding one, to take my example, maybe the expected date of their wedding, yeah, and perhaps their phone number. And that then is, I'm capturing their leads, because in StoryBrand we teach, the companies who are going to come out of this recession quicker than the others are those who've built databases that they can market to. So this is a key thing, isn't it? We're capturing their contact details, we're building our database so that we can communicate. When we are all back in business, we can start to communicate it. And the other important thing is, that type of advertising, we everybody on so far who've talked at these various sessions we've ran, they've talked about, I can't hard sell now, but you can soft sell with things like that still, right?
Yeah, so kind of a lot of colleagues who I talk to and a lot of people in my network are talking about, focusing on lead generation right now, which is effectively, building your email list and then building relationships with that email list so that when we do come out of this crisis that's going on, that we'll be ready to jumpstart our businesses as fast as possible. So right now is a great time to be, one, as Brad has said, build your brand with kind of branding ads. You can build up your custom audiences. I talked about that in the previous think tank. And then you can also build your email list. And if you want to go a step further, you can also build out a Facebook group, and have kind of another form of interaction with your potential ideal clients.
Very good. So just to recap, so somebody has seen my ad on Facebook, I've disrupted their scroll, they see value in that, they click on that to download this value. So like we talked about, the perfect guide to the 7 perfect poses, or whatever it is for your wedding day. They give their email address, the date of their wedding, they click download, and then we say thank you, right?
Absolutely not. Can say thank you some of the time, but okay, if you want to capture those fast movers, which I talked about before, you want to put an offer out there and you want to put out, an irresistible offer. So something that is really difficult for those fast movers to walk away from. So right now, my personal approach during this crisis might not necessarily be to sell at this point. So it might be to join a Facebook group instead. But in a traditional sense, when we are out of this crisis, you'll put up your offer there. Your irresistible offer will want to have a discount of some sort. If you can offer discounts in your business, you know, you'll want to have some sort of bonuses of some type if you can layer them on top. You want to have, you know, a reason why you're actually making such an irresistible offer. And one of the famous influence and persuasion experts, Robert Cialdini, talks about, you know, any reason why is better than no reason why. So because people will kind of start to think, why is this such a good offer? Is it too good to be true? But, you know, your reason why could be Wednesday's my favorite day of the week and today is Wednesday. And then you also want to have a money back guarantee of some sort, you know, because this is kind of cold traffic that you're working with. So you want to have whatever satisfaction guarantee, money back guarantee that you normally have in your business in there as well.
Or some wedding, like I know I've stayed with wedding photographers and we've got thousands of different examples, and Bradley has built out funnels, and you have, Jonathan, for, you know, a whole load of different genres, and we'll talk about that again someday. But just if we follow with the wedding piece for a second. So I know a lot of wedding photographers sometimes do discounted engagement shoots because they know that when they do that engagement shoot, they will invariably close the wedding as well. So that could be the upsell here, right? So download the
Lead
guide,
magnet.
the lead magnet. Then it brings them to a page rather than saying thank you at that stage. Say, and we have a very special offer of an engagement shoot for you at X off, whatever that is, 20% or 30%, whatever that you can do. If you book now, yeah. And maybe they decide, you know, I'm really busy at weekends at weddings, so I'm only going to do these engagement shoots midweek. So they say 50% off an engagement shoot if we do this engagement shoot on a Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday.
Yeah, that's one option. And you know, the irresistible offer, depending on your business model and sales process, doesn't have to be, you know, monetary. So it could be, you know, book a phone call or schedule a consult or something like that. So, you know, just because the ultimate goal is to get them a little bit, one step closer down your sales process, you know. So if the next step that you do is normally a pre-shoot consultation or a phone or something like that, it can be that too, you know.
Very good. Bradley,
Yep.
So you don't do weddings, right? Is that right?
Yeah, no, we don't do weddings anymore.
Okay, so can you give an example? Somebody has just asked an example of a funnel you might use, say, for a boudoir shoot.
Okay, well, a lead gen funnel.
A lead gen funnel, yes.
Yeah, so we have a downloadable guide that hosts either via, you can do that via like a PDF on Canva or something like that, or you can have it as an email sent out. So we do like the 7 tips you need to know before booking a boudoir shoot, or the 7 reasons why you should book a boudoir shoot. We send that as our lead magnet. So we take an email address and a contact name. Send out that lead magnet, and then we've got an offer on of to book a boudoir shoot or to book a free consultation call with us. So like Jonathan said, I've used monetary offers as well as booking free calls. So, you know, here's your opportunity to book a free, 25-minute consultation call about your boudoir shoot. And that's worked really well for us in the past.
Very good. So the offer here is actually not monetary in that example.
Yeah.
It's nearly where the client might feel a bit uneasy about it or be unsure about it. It's have a free consultation with us, and then once you get them on the phone, you're able to make them feel relaxed about it. Yeah. You're able to tell them the benefits of doing a boudoir shoot, and complete the booking sale then on the phone, right?
Yeah, 100%, absolutely. And it's also key, especially when you're advertising to a local audience, is that to make sure that you're not using the same offer over and over and over again, because you will really be beating a dead horse. You need to have varied offers so that you don't fatigue your audience. So it's always something slightly new or different.
Very good. Zena, do we have any questions there? Do you want to come in and give us some questions?
I see lots of questions.
Lots of questions.
So Jamie Hayes asked, what is your average and what is the majority of types of sessions that Bradley, that you create?
So what is Bradley's average sale, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Okay.
what type of sessions do you mostly do, I guess?
So,
Okay, so there's two questions there, Bradley. So the first question
Yeah.
is the different genres of photography you do. Do you want to deal with that
Yeah.
one first?
Yeah, we primarily shoot boudoir. That's the vast majority of what we shoot, and then we do bits of family portraits, pet portraits, and babies. Just to we've got two studios, two photographers. So vast majority of what we do is boudoir. If we've got the time, we can fill it out with other things as well.
And before you answer the average sales value, just so people know, you know, every photographer is in different locations, different things. So what's an average for one person can be completely different for an average for another client. So I just want to clarify that, not for any other reason, just for people to realize that we're dealing with different countries, different locations, clients that have different income earnings. You know, like when I was at Sync, there was photographers who were on stage saying, you know, my average is completely less than a lot of averages I hear, but I'm in a different audience. You know, the average earner that's my client is completely different than if I'm in New York City or whatever. So I just want to explain that, just to explain that averages, there's so many different drivers for averages, right? So an average is not necessarily a good guide, but Bradley, question over to you. It's been asked. So
Yeah,
do you want averages or?
Yeah, no, I don't matter. Our
Okay.
boudoir average is 784 at
So
the moment. So £784.
pounds. So that's roughly about $1,000, right, or thereabouts.
Something like that, yeah.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I mean, like, we're in the process of getting that, working on that at the minute. You know, we were very much in the mindset that we grew our business linearly in terms of creating new sessions, and now we've kind of peaked that out, and now we're focused on average order and value, and that's how we're growing our business at the moment.
So can I ask a question, Bradley, just on top of that?
Yeah.
So are those, so say your average sales value there is £780 or
Yeah.
£708. So your cost per booking was £18. So you're spending £18 to get a £780 sale. Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Just wanted to double check that.
That's pretty good, isn't it? And
Yeah.
then the other side of that is, if I talk to a lot of photographers across the UK, so that average is very high relative to the average I normally hear for the UK.
What is that? Sorry, Ron, was that a question?
No, I'm just making a comment. Yeah, you can come in there and clarify that, because I know you've done some work with other photographers. So to me, like, I hear photographers who in the UK. So what I see worldwide is that in the US they tend to spend far more on photography as averages than they do in the UK and Ireland. So that's just something I fed back. So just for our US listeners who say, "Oh, that sounds very, very low," you know, it's all relative, not only to location, but it's also geography and then what people spend on photography. So
yeah.
Okay, so Zena, any more questions?
Yes, we've got lots more questions. So another one from Bradley. How many raw leads do you need to generate in order to get 30 sessions into your studio?
Yeah. So that all depends on your follow-up and how many you want. I mean, I might generate about a 2-to-1 ratio. I think is a good rough guide, or 3-to-1. So you generate 3 leads, you book one of those in. Again, it all depends on your follow-up. I have a lot of self-automation in a lot of my funnels. So if I get 4 people fill my funnel out, one of them will book in online themselves. So I've created a booking straight away, and then out of the other 3, we'll phone them up and try and book an extra 1 out of those 4. So around about 50% conversion. But it all depends on how much effort and work you want to put into it.
And then, of course, Bradley, they're not all going to be ready to buy now, going back to that old rule that 50% will buy at some stage, 50 won't, but only 15% of that 50% will buy today.
Yeah.
So some of those are going to come in later. So it's you know, you got to take a snapshot in time to measure those figures, but you're right to measure them. It's really important to measure them, right?
Yeah, it is. And like, especially with a lot of the funnels I run, I get far more leads than I'll ever call. And that's why I have self-automation in there. So that's why I have the ability for them to book themselves in online, Because if I get 60 leads and, you know, I book 20 of those into my diary straight away, I'm not going to phone those other 40. I'm just going to be happy with the bookings and leave it at that and focus on the customers who've taken that extra step and shown that intent, and I focus on those.
So what you're saying to us there, Bradley, is you're actually using automation to part qualify the client before you even spend any time talking to them, let alone doing the shoot, hoping that you're going to have a sale, right?
Yeah, exactly. Because telesales, I mean, calls at the minute is one of our biggest times we spend on our business, and it correctly so, because it's one of the most important things we do. But like the telesales is soul destroying. So that's why I did the automation and had them booking online, so that they've shown that higher intent. We can focus on those customers, and then if we wanted extra work in, we can phone the rest. A lot of the time we don't. They just get put into our email list, and we email them out, you know, every month, or well, they'll be in an email sequence for a few days, and then they get a monthly newsletter type of thing.
Okay, so that's as we go down the funnel, right? So today we've talked mainly about the top of funnel stuff, but then we need middle and bottom of funnel stuff to nurture those leads too, right, over time, over that 2-year period when we will convert them. Great. Zena, any more questions there?
When you're generating leads, would you recommend using a landing page or a Facebook lead ad?
Landing.
Great question.
Yeah. No, I was going to say landing page all the way. I don't know what you were going to say, Jonathan.
Yeah, I was going to say something similar. So basically the Facebook lead ad is where, you know, a pop-up box comes up and they pop in their email, and that's it. They go into your email list, but there's no opportunity to continue developing that relationship. So landing page all the way for me.
Yeah.
Very good. Next question, Zena.
Is there any way to automate responses in the funnel building process?
Yeah, I mean, when you say automate responses, like, you know, you can kind of schedule out your email sequences with your kind of autoresponder, whichever one you're using. So there's a question on that as well. Which ones do we use? So personally, I use ActiveCampaign, and we use it for Business Success Academy. So yeah, you can schedule out your emails in advance. You know, you can schedule a year's worth of emails if you want. You know, you can build out your funnel pages in advance. You can have tools like Calendly in there. So if you could send out an email and get them to, you know, book a call or whatever it is. You know, you want to have kind of call to actions on all your marketing activity. So you can automate a lot of it. It does take time initially to kind of come up with the creatives, but once you do that and you get everything written out, or you get someone to write it out for you, then a lot of it can be automated.
Zena.
I have 2 more questions for Bradley.
Yep.
Are you doing digital only? And what giveaways do you do for your boudoir?
Digital as in products?
Yeah, do you offer digitals only, or do you sell products, physical products?
No, we don't do digital files. We just sell product. So the vast majority of what we sell are albums. So printed book albums, or reveal boxes we get from 3XM. That's the majority of what we sell. And then what was the other question? Sorry, Zena.
The other question was, what giveaways do you offer for your boudoir?
Okay, so it's like a gift certificate giveaway. So generally, it's like a £300 gift certificate that people fill in a form out, and we choose the winners based on what they've said in their form. So it's normally a gift certificate valued at £300. So that's £100 for the session, and then £200 to spend in the studio, and then they can spend that on whatever they like, basically.
Any more questions, Zena?
Do you have any real world examples of lead magnets? I think the person's asking about.
We've built quite a few out. Me and Jonathan built quite a few templates out for them. I don't know if you want.
Yeah, we can talk about that again, but yeah, we have, there's various different lead magnets, but just to give you an example, often your lead magnet doesn't even mention photography. So there's a wonderful photographer, she's been on some of the panels, Janine McLeod in Florida, and Janine's what's the word I'm looking for, a funnel that we've helped her create, that Jonathan's worked with her on, is targeting mums who are coming up to organizing the first birthday party for their 1-year-old. And apparently Janine, and this is another real good hint, Janine recognized that one of the biggest concerns her clients have for that first baby shoot was a fear that their party wouldn't be as good as their friends. And a lot of women have an anxiety around that. So she decided that her lead magnet was going to be about how to organize the perfect first-year-old's birthday party. So that's her lead magnet. So when she then presents that to her in her Facebook advertising, the client clicks on that to download it, and then she continues the sales process. So what I'm basically saying, to summarize that down a bit, is think about the questions your client asks you more than any other question that they do, or what their typical fear and anxiety is, and then use that to develop your lead magnet. But Jonathan and Bradley have developed out a whole lot of lead magnets, not just lead magnets, but full funnels to help you implement this in your business. Any other questions, Zena?
I think someone is asking about, when you do a video ad, what percentage do you want to see the video watched in order to retarget them? Is it like 25, 50%, or how much do you want them to watch?
I normally do it for like either 25% or 50% that I've watched the video. But ultimately, if you're trying to create like a lookalike audience from it, or the more data you want, the better. So sometimes it's better to have multiple videos that you pull all that information together with. You might not be able to create a really great lookalike audience if you just have one video and you're getting 50% views from it. You'll need to build up quite a substantial amount of views. So that's why I use multiple videos. It's why I recommend people use more than one as well.
But you can link all them together, Bradley, the viewers
Yeah.
of those, to do your lookalike audience of.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can.
Okay. So when you say it varies between 25 and 50%, that depends on the video that they're watching, is it? And the message that's in that video.
And video length. So some are 13 seconds long, others are like 2 minutes, 2.5, 3 minutes. So
okay.
Okay. The one that's 13 seconds.
Okay. And of course, you measure that, and you measure the data to see how many leads you generate that turn into a client based on how much video they've watched, and you go into that detail. Excellent. Any other questions there, Zena?
Question for Jonathan. Can we hire you to help with our ads?
All right. Okay. Great question. And that leads us on to the next piece, I suppose. So, Jonathan, just to give some background to Business Success Academy. So we set up Business Success Academy at the back end of last year to help photographers and other small businesses take this knowledge and implement it in their business. And we started with a course that was $999, right? But we've decided that from the feedback we've had, that a lot of people who've done the course, where it's wonderful learning and it's stepped out, that they want, like most of us humans, some accountability and some mentorship, right, to make it happen. So can you tell me what that led to?
Yeah, so like you said there, I noticed that a lot of photographers, and not only photographers but small businesses, kind of struggle with generating their own leads, and they don't even know that the world of online marketing and funnels exists. So the original idea was to try and help those businesses by teaching courses. And after getting feedback from photographers who did the course, there were a couple of challenges. So first of all, you have to learn a new skill set, and secondly, it's not easy to kind of just go away, learn something and implement on your own. And that was kind of a lot of the feedback that we were getting about the course. So we started masterminding and trying to come up with a solution for that. We looked into lots of different solutions, like doing it for you as an agency, that type of thing. And we connected with Brad. And what we've done is we've actually tried to take as much of the process as possible and template it out as much as possible. So with examples of kind of ads with templated funnels that you can like install, download, and use straight away, with, you know, examples of emails, all that type of thing. And we've put together a membership program. And basically what the membership program is going to entail is that, you know, for a monthly kind of fee, you'll be in a group, a special workplace group, Facebook workplace group, where you'll be able to interact with the mentors, where you'll be able to gain access to the templates, where you know, you can ask any questions, and myself and Brad will be there, and then future mentors in the future to kind of help with the implementation. We'll be doing like weekly live calls with any questions and answers you have. And we'll also be putting up, you know, regular content, because the thing about it is, you know, not only is it difficult to implement by yourself, but Facebook is constantly changing. You know, their policies, you know, on kind of compliance are changing, you know, kind of how it works and how it operates is changing. So one of the recent changes that's in progress is using ad set budget optimization, switching to CBO, which is campaign budget optimization. So that's kind of the idea and the direction we're moving in. We can't offer like a done for you one-to-one service right now, but this is the closest thing that we will get to it. And yeah, so that's what kind of the direction we're moving.
So this membership then, if I'm a photographer, and just going back to Bradley's example of how many leads he's generating and all that. So
Yep.
this membership site would normally cost $99 a month, right? And we can convert that, that's roughly £85 or whatever. But we understand, and as an organization, so Business Success Academy is part of the Photo Value Group that owns 3XM and all that. And we've been very much about giving. And we're taking the same approach in Business Success Academy, right? So Bradley, did you just want to explain the approach we're taking on it, just to help people get started with this and get a feeling for whether it's for them or not?
Yeah, sure. So we decided to launch this and do the first month for everybody at $9.99. Is that?
Hold on. $9.99, which is roughly £7.50.
Yep.
So that's, if you've ever been in Temple Bar for a pint of Guinness, yeah, it'll cost you more than that. So what you're saying to me is that for $9.99, Business Success Academy, we're going to give people access to the group for 1 month.
Yep.
And for that, they will have full access to the training course that was $9.99, Jonathan, plus access to funnels that you guys have worked out and lead magnets and stuff that they can adopt into their business, as well as a weekly webinar call for questions and answers. Okay, very good. So why would I not do that? And why is it $9.99? Why not just make it free? Will I answer that? Why we don't make it free is that, you know, if something's for free, these guys are going to be mentors in there. It's going to take time. It's going to take some effort. And if it's totally free, nobody values it. So even just having a value of $9.99, it means that you're not going to sign up unless you have some interest. Yeah. So after the $9.99 month, after the first month, then does it become $99, Jonathan?
No, we decided that we're going to, you know, knock down the price on that and keep it 50% off. So it'll be a lifetime discount, so it'll be $49 a month then thereafter.
Okay, so
I'm just laughing there. There's a few funny comments John said because it's Friday.
Yeah,
it's Friday. Okay, it is Friday. Thank Crunchy, it's Friday. So Jonathan, just recapping that. So it's going to be $9.99. That's not $99. Then $9, less than $10, or the equivalent in euro or pounds. I sign up. I get the month access, and then thereafter I can lock in for $49 a month, and I won't have to pay the $99 a month, right?
That's correct, yes.
Okay, so to do that then, Zena is going to share the link, I think, in the groups. So Zena, you're going to share the link where people can sign up. It's a limited time offer. It's a COVID-19 offer. And if you're worried about getting return on this, you can get return very, very quickly working with these two guys and myself, because what we're going to do is about soft selling, building that database of leads, so that once we're back in action, you can then start communicating with those clients and those leads you've generated to say, we're open again now, book. And some photographers will choose to say, part of their funnel will be, you know, to book us for September or book us for July or whenever they think they're going to be out of this. Because you talked before, Bradley, about having a rolling diary, yeah?
Yeah.
So bookings, you're still generating your bookings and you're moving them out there.
Yeah.
So Zena has just shared the link here. She's also sharing the link in Facebook. What happens if we quit after a year? Do we still have access to the templates? Someone's just asked that question. Does anyone want to answer that? We don't know.
Yes, if you've downloaded the templates. So if you've downloaded the templates, you'll still have access to it, but you won't have access to any future templates or anything else that we're building out.
Okay, so today they join for $9.99. They have a month that accesses the course, that gets those webinar helps, that gets some funnels, and then next week we're bringing the next step, right? We're bringing the mentorship piece as well, which will be the Inner Hive, the Business Success Inner Hive, and that for that you will be able to decide once you've joined at the $9.99 that rather than paying on a monthly basis to join for a year, and you get additional templates and funnels there, as well as one-on-one mentoring sessions with any of us three. So 2 one-on-one mentoring sessions included. And that will actually cost less than paying the monthly fee of $49 for a year, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Listen, guys, thank you so much. I really appreciate you. You truly are experts, not only marketing experts, but also photographer expert who's implementing this in their business. So this works in photography, guys. A lot of people say to me, oh yeah, that's okay if you're doing this, you're selling that or the other. This works everywhere. It's simple marketing at its best for today's environment and the businesses. And if you don't believe me, ask Donald Miller in StoryBrand, watch his videos. The businesses that are going to get out of this quicker than any other businesses are those who've built a marketing database that they can market to when we're open for business again. So thank you. Sorry, Jonathan, yes?
Just one more thing. There's a few questions. Can I'm more than happy to just hang on a few extra moments if you are just to have a quick answer to them. So Guy is asking, you know, he bought the original course. So Guy, I'll send you a personal email and talk to you about that. There'll be kind of specials for people who've already invested in the original course. Couple of other questions. So questions around examples. So yeah, I'll speak to Janine, and in the 3XM Insiders group, I will ask Janine if we can share, you know, an example non-working version of our funnel so you can see each step. So I'll post it in there for you. And there's also some free content in 3XM Insiders around, you know, building your brand on Facebook, which I'll continue to add to. And we'll touch on kind of that whole video views as kind of the basics. So that will also be in the membership and free in 3XM Insiders. And then just a couple of other questions. I'm just going to scroll here quickly. Sorry.
Well, you're scrolling. John, thank you for signing up. Dermot, we look forward to see you. Darren's just signed up. So people signing up already, guys. So
awesome.
Seriously, this is an offer not to be missed. You will not see this anywhere. You know, you will see companies that are doing this, and it's $99 even now to get in. You know, $9.99. And not only that, those people don't have expertise in our industry. You're looking at experts in our industry who do it in our industry.
So just Taylor was asking, do you use tracking software with UTM and to integrate into the CRM? So both Brad and I use a software called ClickFunnels, and that has built-in integrations with our CRMs. For lead generation, because I do everything on Facebook, I just use the Facebook Pixel for tracking kind of in terms of ad spend and revenue generated. I haven't used UTM in kind of my media buying business. I do use a tracking software, but it's not necessary in this case, really. You can do it with Facebook because you have full control of the funnel. Tom was asking about real world examples. Yeah, we'll share some of them. And just a couple more questions there. So yeah, Andrew, there'll be 4 weeks of webinars for the first month, and you'll also have access to templates and the training courses. Darren this is a question kind of for you, Bradley, just if you don't mind
Yeah.
answering. He asked, with the £300 gift certificate, if for free, and do you average £700 on top of that offer?
Yes, so that's the gift certificate. So we give that out to selected people, and so our average is on top of that. Yeah. So for people who claim that gift certificate, we take a refundable booking deposit down that they can use towards their order if they wanted to do so. But yeah.
Okay, and just one final question. Just John Regent Cook is asking, Jonathan, who can help us build our content for years worth of email sequences? So admittedly, email marketing is one of my weakest points. So what I do is I hire copywriters off of Upwork or Fiverr. And you know, you can find copywriters there, because I hate writing emails. I much prefer the Facebook and funnel side of things. So yeah, there's plenty of freelancers you can work with.
But our plan is just to cap on that. So the Inner Hive members, when we launch that next week, we will generate a series of emails that you can do to nurture your funnels that will be available to Inner Hive members. So that will be something that we will bring to the table.
Yeah, exactly. And Tom is asking, are we able to implement today? Yeah, you'll have access to the course straight away, Tom. And we'll get you into Workplace within 48 hours and get templates up in there for you ASAP. The first call will be Wednesday. But if you go through the course today, you can definitely self-implement straight away. And Connie Sanders is asking, no PayPal. You should be able to use PayPal, Connie, so I'll check that out after the call for you.
There's just one more from Paul Hibbs. How many funnels do you have on the go, and how do you manage them?
I mean, for me, I'll probably run about 3 at any one time. I've got 30 created, but I only run a set amount because my audience is, I don't want to oversaturate my audience, because it's a local audience. So even though I'm advertised to 300,000 people, it's the same 300,000 people on multiple different funnels. And you can control them all in ClickFunnels relatively easy. So I don't know how many you've got going, Jonathan.
Me, I have about 5 gone at the minute with the media buying. I'm just focusing on, I'm working with one vendor at the minute, so I'm spending $1,100 a day with him at the minute, just driving sales and stuff. So yeah, but it's not, you know.
Very good.
Yeah. Sorry.
I'm going to bring it to a close, guys. Thank you so much again. You know, this $9.99 offer, it's about, that is us giving as well. You know, it really is. You know, check out anybody online who's offering this. You will not see it for $9.99. These guys are experts. We also have other experts in our business, like Zena, who's our marketing manager in 3XM. You know, we've an awful lot of knowledge to share with you. We're here to help you. We understand the importance of photography into our society. We understand the difference that you make every single day when your clients view the images that you create for them, those professional images on their wall, in their folio box, in their albums. And we strongly believe, as we've talked before on all the other panels, photography is going to come out of this stronger, because what this is doing is it's recalibrating people and what's important in life. You know, and people are realizing how important family is, and capturing those images and those special moments is even going to become more important. Just think of those high school seniors, those weddings that are being cancelled, you know, and it's allowing people to reevaluate what's really important. So that's it for tonight. Thank you so much for joining us. We look forward to seeing you next week. We will have in Business Success Academy insiders. Join us. We'll be there to help. And then next week as well, we will have loads more webinars coming from the think tank. It's going to be a great week. We're here to help you. Thank you so much for joining us today, and we'll see you all again soon. Have a great weekend. Good night.
See you later.
See you.